Rugby Wrap Up brought to you in part by Sheehy Auto Stores. It's easy at Sheehy. The Pig and Whistle, the world's best rugby pub. And Lean and Limber, stretching your way to a healthier lifestyle. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Rugby Odds, starring former WWE champion John Bradshaw Layfield, God's gift to rugby, Gift Egbelu of the Gift Time Rugby Network, and featured guest. You know the drill, and if you don't, it is basically just that John Bradshaw Layfield, the WWE legend, and Gift Egbelu, rugby's gift to mankind, a.k.a. the King, are in the green room just doing absolutely nothing, which is more than they do on camera on this show, while I do the heavy lifting. And part of that is for us to just look briefly back before we go forward. So let's do that. The Los Angeles Giltinis went into Atlanta to face the Atlanta Rattlers, and surely this was going to be a hard-fought, last-minute win for one of these powerhouses in their respective conferences. But no, nobody told Los Angeles that, as the Giltinis rambled to a huge halftime lead and held on shorthanded to actually smoke the Atlanta Rattlers, who slithered out of the snake pit after a 31-19 whitewashing by the visiting Giltinis. Rugby ATL was favored by 2 points, and they did not cover the spread. The Dallas Jackals welcomed in the San Diego Legion to Choctaw Stadium, the former home of the Texas Rangers, and it's one of the coolest places in the league to play, except when you are wounded and struggling like the Dallas Jackals are. San Diego easily wins this one, 53-14, and they cover the 20-point spread. The NOLA Gold came to the New York City area to play Rugby New York in Hoboken, New Jersey in an Eastern Conference clash. New York were favored by 8 points, and it was the Gold who put the scare of a lifetime into the New Yorkers. After Kane Thompson's extension of 2 years was announced, his team looked like they were dead and buried in the first half. But whatever he said in the locker room at halftime needs to be bottled and sold, because the Gold came roaring back in a spectacular second half to make for a very exciting game in a full Hoboken JFK Stadium. New York survives and doesn't cover the spread, but doesn't lose either. It's a tie. New York wins 36-28. And last but not least, it was a huge battle between the Seattle Seawolves and the Austin Gilgronis, and it was the Austin Gilgronis favored by 7 points. And in this physical battle between these two teams, the Gilgronis outlast the Seawolves 17-6. Austin covers the 7-point spread. Phew! Now that we got that out of the way, we can look forward and we can bring in the Faffers, John Bradshaw Layfield and Gift Egbelu, after we take this break.
Looking for your next vehicle? With Sheehy's Easy Search, choose from over 3,000 new and used vehicles. Shop, trade, or buy online or in store. We make it easy with our award-winning service.
It's easy at Sheehy, Sheehy.com.
If you're in New York City and want to watch some great rugby, have some great food, and some great times, go to the world's best rugby pub, the Pig and Whistle on West 36th Street. Hey, everybody, we're back with John Bradshaw Layfield.
Yeah, we're back. Go ahead.
The W.
I changed my name to Rocky Marciano Mayweather because I'm unfreaking defeated. That's right. Like John Wooden's 1960s up UCLA, like the 1972 Miami Dolphins, undefeated. Here, look at this. That's all the money I won right there. And you won a bag of donkey balls and a wooden spoon.
You were undefeated, kind of like
Yes.
John Cena against you, undefeated.
Listen, hey, and for King Egbelu, look at this. My replica Pele.
Let's go!
I was 2-2-1 last week. Gift was 2-2-1 last week.
Yeah, but Gift was good at it.
You were 4-0-1.
You got the wooden spoon and a bag of donkey balls.
You can tell he was 4-0-1. He's not used to winning with class and dignity because he's never been there. He only loses. So
I make medicine sick. I can tussle with the well. I handcuff lightning. I throw thunder in jail. Rumble, young man, rumble. Ah!
puncher's chance. You have a puncher's chance. And that's the beauty of the rugby odds, ladies and gentlemen. Even a John Bradshaw Layfield can get winners on this in Major League Rugby. Look at that. Look at those winnings. Now, with that, let's go ahead.
Dumbest thing I ever heard.
We got New England.
Wasted our time.
Jacks, free jacks, flapjacks, tea sippers at
You've
home.
wasted our time.
Versus Old Glory, and it's New England -8. JBL, Johnny Spoons.
Oh, no. Johnny Rocky Marciano Mayweather is what it is.
Boom.
Get the name right.
Who you picking? Tea
I
sippers?
tell you who I'm picking because those free jackals look awesome. Absolutely awesome. I think Old Glory is going to play them well, and there's a chance that they could get within the 8 points. But I'm going to go with the free jackals. I hate to do this to my friend Nate. I love Nate, and I love my Old Glory home team, but I don't think they can beat the free jackals.
Gift? Who do you like? New England's -8 versus Old Glory. John's just picking right past his neighbor, Paul Sheehy, and Old Glory, and Chris Dunleavy. He's just ignoring them.
And Nate, don't forget Nate. I love Nate, and I think Old Glory is going to do really well. I just don't think they can beat the Tea Sippers.
This is going to be Nate's real first opportunity at a big time team. They're finally taking a top 3 team. They're finally going to they're coming off of a break. And I look at them and I say, hey, they're probably not going to beat this team. They might not have the talent for it, but I do think that they're going to get within the 8 points. So I'm going to give this one to Old Glory for the points, but New England will most likely have to win.
You know what? I couldn't agree more. Gift, you're absolutely correct, and John's absolutely wrong. Old Glory is going to stun the world and either cover the spread or just win the game on the road. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm going with. And it's got nothing to do with the car that I drive from Sheehy Auto Stores. It's easy at Sheehy. Next one up, Utah hosting Atlanta. Sedity, New Orleans going into the Mountain People Gift, and it is Utah getting 10 points.
Look here. Atlanta was a complete embarrassment this week. Complete embarrassment. They are the little brothers to LA, but they have a chance to, well, it's not even really a rectification because Utah is just not a challenging team. I said last week they absorbed all the energy of Old Glory, and hence we'll continue. Atlanta will win this, get the points, cover, whatever it is, Atlanta. Just so disappointing last week. He had a chance to make up for the championship, and he didn't, which is expected from Atlanta because they underwhelmed. I'm not talking about the team. I'm talking about the city in general. It underwhelms as a whole.
John, the Mountain People are welcoming in the Snakes, the Atlanta Rattlers. The Atlanta Rattlers on the road -10 for the third time.
Okay, this is a tough call. But I'm going with Atlanta. I think Atlanta is going to be upset about the fact that they lost last week and they got out physical. And so I think
they got out physical.
Yeah, and they're going to out physical. They're going to out physical the Mountain Men. And they're going to win by double digits.
Yeah, I'm not going with the Mountain Men in this one. I'm going with the Snakes, the Rattlers, Atlanta.
Altitude only affects snakes whenever they're feeling passive. But you know what? In this situation, you got nothing but cobras going on over there because, hey, whenever you dealt with a mongoose, you hope that you can maybe take care of a rat. So that's basically what they're going to be doing.
The Yogi Berra of rugby. And on that note, we're going to take a quick break before we come back for the second half of this show's Picks of the Week. We'll be right back.
Been blind since I was 4. And I've never seen a beer commercial or a beer label. None of that stuff influences me. I drink beer because of the taste. And my beer is Pabst Blue Ribbon. It has the taste and the flavor.
What do you think's on the label?
I think there's a naked woman riding on a unicorn, jumping over fire. Oh, that's good beer.
Johnny Spoons and the King, Gift
Johnny
Egbelu.
undefeated. Rocky Marciano Mayweather.
Toronto is back in action this week, and they are up in Tirana, welcoming in New York. One thing to keep in mind is that USA Rugby's got a camp this week, and we don't know what it is exactly. Is it going to be physical, or is it just skull sessions or whatever? But either way, if you're out of your team's structure for 3 or 4 days or 2 or 3 days, whatever it is, it's got to have some kind of impact. And different teams will be impacted in different ways. New York, for instance, has 5 guys that are in that camp, I think. So, we'll see how it pans out, but it's something to consider.
I think New York this past week was trying to go for tries. Too many. I think that they thought we got to run up the score. We're going to, get back in standings. And I think they could have won that game easily by 10, 15 points. And they didn't. I think they're a better team than what the score was. That being said, Nala played well. I think Rugby New York is one of the best teams in the league. And I think they go up to Toronto, who is also a pretty good team. And I think they win the game.
I said last week, even though I didn't expect New Orleans to win, I said New Orleans plays well in New York. It's been historically set for the last 3 years. They've played well in New York. But Toronto, in this situation, look, they've been good in moments, but they have not been good in consistency, and they've not been good in actually playing teams and beating teams they're supposed to beat. Again, like they've done previously. And I look at this again. New York might have lost 5 players. New York might be on a down and out, but for -2, New York is going to get this one. This is a penalty kick difference. New York is going to get the points on this one. I don't trust Toronto. I don't care about Canada, but I don't trust Toronto.
He doesn't care about Canada. You heard it right there, ladies and gentlemen. He hates Canada.
Speak it, except for the family that's out there. Shout out to them. But the rest of it, give it to New York.
So New York has some relief coming in. They got a flanker from New Zealand coming in, and they got Naholo is the All Blacks wing that's already in camp, and he should be ready to go this week. But it's also tricky because you get a visa to come into the United States, and now you got to figure out how to go to the other country, which Toronto, I found out, is in Canada, which happens to be another country. I'm going to pick New York -2 on the road.
Oh, that's a shocker. Oh, my God.
Breaking news.
Who would have thought it?
Los Angeles, the Giltinis at home at the Coliseum in this Western Conference, not to be missed match with the Austin Gilgronis. It's the Gil Twins Bowl, and it's LA getting 2 points at home from the Gilgronis, John.
This is the game of the season so far, unless they meet again. This, to me, is almost impossible to pick because these two teams, to me, it's like Georgia and Alabama in the football championship. SEC is the best league in the college football league in the world. These two are head and shoulders better than everybody. And I think these two teams are better than everybody else. This should be a great game. And I have no idea who's going to win this game. So I'm going to go with
There's a shock.
I'm undefeated. I'm Rocky Marciano Mayweather.
Okay, all right.
And I'm being honest with all of our fans out there because I want them to win money like this.
All right, so who are you picking? You going with Texas? Going with Texas? He's not. He's going with Los Angeles at home. That's what that means.
No, I'm going with Texas.
Going with Texas.
There we go.
When in doubt, go with the South.
Just talked him into a loss, ladies and gentlemen. Just talked him into a loss. Go ahead, Gift.
Looky here. I said this at the beginning of the season. I said this in the middle of the season. I said this last week. Austin is the best team in rugby. But this week is going to be the week that they have to finally overall defeat the little brother syndrome that they have. All right. They did it a little bit before because they did actually mollywop on LA earlier.
Mollywop.
But the point is they got to continue this because this is probably going to be the Western Conference final as well, too. So that being said, I look at Austin and I look at them and that defense and that really on par, charmed together offense coming together, taking on a really hot LA team. That defeat of
Atlanta,
who they beat, Atlanta, was something. But because I don't feel like they actually really respect Atlanta, I look at Austin to take this one, take the win, the points, and everything in between.
Well, I got to tell you, after doing the game and watching LA's front row, they and still play with a man with a red card and then a yellow card, and the garbage time points by Atlanta really didn't matter. LA on the road looked really strong, and they're going to look stronger at home. And again, this is that big brother, little brother thing. And the little brother is cruising right now, but there might be a little bit of turmoil going on down in Austin. Rumors are flying around. I don't have any substantiated, so I won't talk to it yet. But I think LA at home, LA at home is going to win this game. They're going to roll them boys. Next up, San Diego, who beat Seattle in a must-win situation, is now facing another must-win situation versus Houston, and that was not easy for me to say. And it's San Diego at home, -3. Really, this is a tough one to call. You go first, John. Are you going to pick against Texas again? You're going to pick against Texas again?
I'm going to pick against Texas. I'm going to take San Diego. I think the Texas behind their defense behind Danny Barrett, they play hard. I mean, really hard. They fight breakdowns. They get turnovers. They do. Oh,
you're saying San Diego didn't fight hard last week against Dallas, destroying them by 75,000 points. You saying that?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
And you picked against Texas in that one too, didn't you?
God bless Dallas.
Picked against,
and I won too.
You picked against Texas in that one, didn't you?
I'm loyal to one thing, and that's my freaking wallet.
All right, so Gift, you going to take Houston or Houston?
Actually, I am going to take Houston, but I'm going to give an explanation first because of the fact that I said, for what it's worth, San Diego earned themselves another week because I said if they didn't beat Dallas by more than 20, they no longer needed to be on the field. And thankfully, they went through them as they should because San Diego always beats the teams that are supposed to be the win, not the ones that actually challenge them. Houston's coming in hotter and hotter. They're getting themselves back together. Danny Barrett's coming in strong. This is going to be another one. Even if it's on the road, San Diego, I still don't have it for them. Houston, even in their inconsistency, will take this on the 2.
I'm going San Diego. San Diego, stay sexy, San Diego, in this playoff race because they're getting healthier. Houston doesn't really shine on the road, and I think San Diego's got more firepower, and they got the cohorts edging them on. So I'm taking San Diego in this one, -3. Could be an upset for Houston, though. That's a good game to watch.
Because they're going to be ahead by like 20 at the first half, and then San Diego's going to come back, but just not be able to finish it out again.
All right. Well, we have our views on this one. And the next one and the last one, Seattle getting what they need, a game against Dallas. And they are at home at Starfire. The Broccoli people are at home, and the Broccoli people are -20 versus Dallas, John.
Not enough points. Look, I feel sorry for Dallas. They are first year in the league, and they just had every kind of trouble you can have. I think they're going to be a great franchise, but they're not this year. I don't think they're going to win a game. Yeah,
they were right in it with Austin, Gift. So who are you taking? You taking the broccoli cauliflower people up in the dark hole of Starfire, as you refer to them?
Well, since this is a battle of the greens, but you know what they say, you only bet on green when it deals with money, and Seattle continues to prove to me as to why you don't believe in the broccoli people. Because when you have a game you're supposed to get close and be within the point, you do it. But no, in this situation, come on now. If Seattle doesn't win this by at least 45 points, again, they don't need to continue on.
Gift, you took Seattle, I think, in all of that, and I'm going to take Seattle. All right, final thoughts, John.
Final thoughts is this. Last week, I won all this freaking money. And this week, you're such a poor sport, you show up with that potty mouth, and I bought you this. And I'm going to send you this because you're going to wash your mouth out with this is what you're going to do. Then you're going to dump a bunch of it into a tub, and you're going to stick your whole head in it.
Gift, final thoughts.
I don't understand New Orleans right now, so that's basically all I have right now. That's my final thoughts. I don't fully understand what the big plan is here, but I continue to support.
All right, there's some clarity. I think that we have some very, very exciting matches with a lot of drama this weekend. That New York-Toronto one, the battle in the East. And then you got the Gil Twins in the Gilchrist Bowl out in L.A., a lot. And then you got San Diego and Houston, a lot of different subplots, a lot of different stories here, all worth watching. And I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be drinking a lot of beer, watching a lot of rugby. And one other last final note is I want to salute Army for winning the CRAA D1 championship against a very tough Tim O'Brien, St. Mary's Gales team. Great stuff for college rugby. On that note, I want to thank John Bradshaw, Johnny Spoons Layfield,
Yes.
Gift
Rocky
Egbelu,
Marciano Mayweather.
There we
Rugby's
go.
gift to mankind, and the king of the Garden State, Gift Egbelu. Thank you for tuning in, and please check out our other segments, including our MLR
Doing
Weekly,
good. I
our
love
College
that.
Rugby Wrap Up, and please sign up for our weekly newsletter, subscribe to YouTube, and join our American Red Cross blood donor team.